Better Daily, where we work hard in our minds, bodies, and our spirits to become 1% better every single day. Download the app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live to catch the video version of these podcasts. Here's your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What is up, Betterment family? This is Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Happy Monday. It's Mindset Monday, and I missed you guys over spring break, but I'm really excited today about the mindset. And the mindset is put your phone down. Don't worry. I understand that there's a little irony in this message, given that I'm going live into a virtual community that actually has a mobile application. So I want to unpack that so as not to sound like a hypocrite. But here in Better Daily, we have been going over the last 6 weeks through the Better Man Challenge. Now, not all of us have gone through the Better Man Challenge. There are very specific men in this community who have committed over the last few weeks to become a better man. And there are a lot of aspects to that. And one of the things that we covered together was connection. Now, connection, there's a whole undergirth of information and work that we had to do to get there. But connection is the human ability to be with one another. And for that to be a good and positive and encouraging and uplifting and loving thing, right? Connection. There's a strange thing that's happened over the past 10 years, I would say. And you know, I'm not that old, but I'm a very strange generation because I was born before cell phones and I became an adult through the time that cell phones went from like a strange suitcase thing that you had to carry around and it cost $10,000 to make a call or something silly like that. That was the very first cell phones. They were like a weird suitcase and only, you know, really special military people or high government officials had one. They went from that to this thing that now we all hold in our pocket. Some of us have anxiety if we leave it places. It has everything from our social media and our contacts list to entire terabytes worth of pictures of our children. And golly, it's got everything on it. It has everything on it. And we all have one. And we all are using them too much, honestly. And the reason I bring this up is because one of the things we covered in the Better Man Challenge was the idea that it's not good for man to be alone. And we all know that. We all know that. So I challenged the men to write down, and you might do this too, write down the 10 most important people in your life, the closest people, the people you have solid relationships with, or the people that you would consider closest to you out of everybody, the top 10. Take a couple minutes and write those down. You don't have to do it in this moment. You could do it after you listen to this shortcast. But what I did is I challenged them to do so. So we took a couple minutes doing that. And while we were doing that, we were trying to categorize them. Are they close friends? That would be our inner circle of friends, right? Are they friends? Are they acquaintances? Or are they just part of our tribe? So the 10 closest people to you, are they part of the tribe? That would be like people you know are in your community. Maybe they root for the same football team as you here in Better Daily. Maybe they're in Better Daily, but you've never had a conversation with them. They're part of the tribe. They're trying to get better. That's about all you know about them. Maybe you go to church, and so it's the people who are sitting in the row 3 seats down, but you don't know them. They're part of your tribe, right? Or are they acquaintances? You've shaken hands. You know their name. If you high-fived them in a grocery store, that wouldn't be weird. Maybe it'd be weird, but if you're a high fiver, it wouldn't be weird. Or are they friends? They know about as much about you as you do them. You're willing to do favors for each other. You might trust them to watch your kids for a few minutes, maybe a little longer, that sort of thing. Or are they close friends? These are the people you can tell anything. In fact, one of the ways that you categorize close friends is it okay for you to be angry with them? Is it okay for you to say it? I'm angry with you. I got a bone to pick with you. Here's why. Those are close friends. There was a friend of mine in life once that said, you know you're close friends when you have to move because they're the ones who actually show up to help you move your couch. And so as younger Alex, that's a thing you do when you're young. You're moving like every year. Every time the lease is up, you got to move. So anyway, all that to say, we listed our 10 people And we tried to categorize them, and then I challenged them and look at the people that you put in your close friends and friends circles. Look at those people. How many hours did you spend this week maintaining and growing that relationship? And so everybody took a second to write how many hours next to each person. And I was personally challenged by this exercise because there were people that I consider friends that I had spent a big fat 0 hours that week building and maintaining that relationship. I was very challenged by that because this has something to do with our mindset, by the way. Put your phone down. We're getting there. But I was challenged by that because here's the thing about friendship. If you have a friend, that means you're, in non-psychological terms, a friend is somebody you're connected to and love. You have some things in common with them. Maybe you've gone through a similar experience with them. Maybe you've known each other for a long time. Whatever it is, you consider yourself friends with them, right? But in life, we change as time goes on. Let's say you've been doing this 1% better thing for a year. You're getting 1% better every single day for a whole year. Well, you're not the same person you were a year ago, right? Remember, I say you are the result of your DNA and your story. You can't change your DNA. But you can change your story. Your story is changing if you're improving. Here's the thing about friendships. If you and that friend aren't connecting regularly, then your story's changing and they don't know it. And vice versa, their story's changing and you don't know it. And so what happens is the friendship can't really grow. In fact, what you think, who you think you're friends with, if you haven't connected with that person in a while, might not exist anymore. And we talked about a study, the American Psychological Association, we talked about a study of rats with addiction. And what they found is if you take a rat and you put it in a cage and you give it the choice between pulling a lever to get food or pulling a lever to get a hit of cocaine, the rat will eventually kill itself. It'll get addicted to cocaine, and then who needs food when you've got that much dopamine? And so the rat will get hit after hit of cocaine and not eat any food. Bad day for the rat, right? Well, they've replicated these studies, but they've twisted them a little, right? So in that study, the rat was all alone in a cage with 2 levers: food or addiction. Food or addiction. In another follow-up study, what they did is they took a colony of rats. You know, they had rat mommy and daddies and babies and access to exercise and play and rough and tumble and sex and all the stuff that little biological rodents like to do. And then there was a room off the side of the colony that was the cocaine room. You could go in there, you could pull the lever, get a little hit of cocaine, and, you know, then come back to your rat colony. And what they found was that 0 rats got addicted to cocaine and 0 rats died choosing the dopamine hit. Well, why is that? Well, they were living in community. They were together. They were connected. Addiction and isolation didn't have any hold on them. Why would you go get addicted to cocaine in a room by yourself when what you could be doing is playing with other rats, having a grand old time? I have friends that I know of, and I say I have friends that I know of. I have friends that I know of who are more isolated than they should be. And there are so many things that bother them and burden them and are difficult for them because, I'm not saying it's the only reason, but one of the reasons is because at very deep levels, they are unconnected. And so follow me with this. The average person in the United States right now spends less than 30 minutes a day maintaining their most important relationships. Okay, I get it. We're busy. We got a lot going on. We've got work and we've got kids and we've got all the stuff in the world that we're trying to keep up with. And we got projects and we've got that show we really enjoy, right? Books to read if you're a nerd like I am. But there's a screen time app on your phone, and I challenge you to check it out. Just look at it. See where you're spending some time, because most people would tell me the reason I have a hard time reaching out to so-and-so, or the reason I have a hard time inviting people to my house, or the reason I have a hard time making time for lunch with this person to maintain this relationship is I just don't have a lot of time right now. I'm so busy. Look at your phone. Look at your phone. Check your screen time app out. Did you know that the average person who is only spending 30 minutes a day or less maintaining their most important relationships, the average person is spending 3.5 hours on their phone every day. 3.5 hours of screen time. Now, not everybody's the same, but if you look at your screen time application on your phone, it's not hard to find. Go to your search thing and screen time. You could look it up in settings. You can see how many hours a day you're spending in every application, whether it's a game, whether it's social media, whether it's reading about the news. Messages, gosh, I spend at least 40 minutes a day writing messages back and forth with clients of mine. And don't get me wrong, I love you guys who are working with me, and it is my pleasure and honor to be in your corner. However, when I am talking to my son, it's extremely important, especially in the developmental years of childhood. It's extremely important for an adult to make eye contact with a child and have a conversation with them. It's important for development. It's important to show him that he's seen and I'm undistracted, right? And even if I'm doing something positive, maybe writing an encouraging message to a client, maybe I'm spending time typing up a prayer for somebody who's going through a hard time. But if he's trying to talk to me, I better put my phone down. In fact, in my house, one of the things that I'm working on is to only have my phone open and in my face if nobody's in the room. Like if family time's happening and there's a message I really need to respond to, it's that important, then I will leave the room and deal with that message, because it's so important to me that 3.5 hours of screen time that the average person is doing, that is not affecting those 30 minutes that I'm spending with my most important relationships. In fact, I would love to see it swapped. And I told you that I would square the circle with reducing the irony of doing this in a mobile application. And that is this: in Better Daily, here in this application where we have our virtual community, we are not a dopamine driven application, meaning you're not going to get advertisements. We're not filtering the hottest content in the front. You're not going to see boobs and butts, as soon as you open your application. If you're a woman, you're like, what is he talking about? If you're a guy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Instagram has your number. You open Instagram, they know exactly how old you are. They know you're a man, and they're going to blast you with something to keep your attention for just a second. And here in Better Daily, that's not the way we do things. The point is that whatever screen time we do use, that it's positive and powerful for our everyday life, that it can actually be helpful to our relationships, to hear a positive word, to see the stories that other people are going through, the obstacles that they're overcoming and the burdens they're carrying, to become 1% better every day and inspire us to bring that to our relationships in person, and maybe even foster some relationships here. So our mindset today: put down your phone. I want you, every time you pick up your phone, every time you scroll through something, every time you select an app, I want you to ask the question, do I need to do this right now? Is this that important? If it's not, check yourself. And even better, pro tip, even better, see if you could spend that time on a relationship that's important to you. If it means shooting him a text or giving him a call, fine, I guess you got to use the phone. But if it means taking the time to invite them to dinner or to walk next door and shake their hand, do it. Guys, this has been Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live on Mindset Monday. Put down your phone, and I'll see you tomorrow on Nutrition Tip Tuesday, where you have to pick up your phone to see what it's about. But it'll help you with your nutrition, so it's time well spent, I hope. Until next time, guys, it's just 1%. You got this.
Thank you for joining us for 1% Better today. Don't forget to subscribe for the podcast. Leave us a raving review to tell others how Better Daily has helped you in your journey. If you want more Better Daily, download our app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live. Use code POD to get 25% off your subscription. That's POD, all caps, to save 25% on your subscription. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.live today.